And my son Hayden and my daughter Hannah.
So you have 3 of you in the house who have got it. Let me ask you, Patrick, does this feel any different from any other flu you've ever had?
No, sir. No, just same body aches, just cruddy feeling.
High fever, body aches, cough, runny nose. If you have those symptoms for 24 to 48 hours and you are getting worse and not better, or you have an underlying medical condition that might put you at higher risk of the complications of influenza,
Looks like our government's getting us pretty upset and concerned about the swine flu. This is interesting to me, not only for political reasons, but also as a physician. It makes me think back to 1976, the first year I served in the Congress. We had a vote on the swine flu. Back then, there was a panic, and they said it was going to sweep the nation, and they rapidly came up with some flu shots, and the government was going to inoculate everybody and save the world from this disaster. And one person died, except for those individuals who died from getting the flu vaccine.
Joe brought it home from the office. He gave it to Betty and one of his kids, and to Betty's mother. But Betty's mother went back to California the next day. On her way to the airport, she gave it to a cab driver, a ticket agent, and one of the charming stewardesses. At school, Joe's kid gave it to some other kids, and Mrs. Merrill got it and gave it to her husband. In California, Betty's mother gave it to her best friend, Dottie. But Dottie had a heart condition and she died. But before she died, Dottie gave it to her girlfriend, the mailman, the paper boy, and the vet when she went to pick up her chihuahua.
If a swine flu epidemic comes, this is how it could spread. You'll want to be protected, especially if you're elderly or chronically.
I don't need another flu shot. I had a flu shot last year.
A swine flu epidemic may be coming.
Swine flu shot? Well, I don't know. I've been thinking about it.
It could make you very sick.
Swine flu? Man, I'm too fast today to catch me.
You'll want to be protected.
I'm the healthiest 55-year-old you ever seen. Hey, I play golf every weekend.
Get a shot of protection. The swine flu shot.
You'll notice that when any of these diseases come along, like we had the swine flu, which was a total hoax, and they made a vaccination for the swine flu in the early 70s or 80s, and over 800 people, there were a number of people who died from the vaccine, and it was a total hoax. There was no such disease, but it was a plan for the pharmaceutical companies to make a vaccine, scare everybody into taking it.
Last fall, we urged the entire population to get the flu shot. Va chercher ton flu shot.
Fatti il vaccino per l'influenza.
請注射預防流感疫苗.
And you did. And now many of you are getting the flu anyway. Sorry about that.
Mi dispiace.
真係非常之對唔住.
You did your civic duty, and you got screwed.
Ma te hanno fregato.
係你自己唔好彩咋.
The flu shot never stops the latest flu that's going around. That's why it's going around. Relax, we'll get it next time.
Health Canada, injecting you next fall against whatever's going around now.
Welcome to Australia, where identity checks have just become a little more difficult.
A lot of people are getting sick. Everywhere, heaps of friends, everyone's getting sick. Especially at the airport. It gets a bit scary when you have to come to the airport.
Masked arrivals are now part of the scene as authorities attempt to detect swine flu on incoming aircraft. Passengers today reported increased surveillance on some, but not all, planes. There are now more than 70 suspected cases around Australia, including 37 in Queensland and 12 in South Australia. Tonight, the federal government has proclaimed swine flu a quarantinable disease. If needed, this measure will allow for the mandatory detention of sick people.
Well, the federal government has announced the approval of a human vaccine for bird flu, which has been developed in Australia. The vaccine has been tested on adults, but trials are still underway to check on its safety on children.
We are very pleased that now the approvals have been granted, that if we are in a situation, which of course we hope we won't be, of a human-to-human virus taking hold in Australia, that we will be able to quickly respond. We won't need to go through the processes of approvals which have now been provided.
The vaccine can only be used once a flu pandemic is officially declared by the World Health Organization.
Australian health officials say the country is well prepared to deal with the arrival of swine flu on our shores. The government says there are adequate stockpiles of antiviral drug Tamiflu, despite questions over how effective the medication is against the strain of influenza.
First SARS, then avian influenza. Health experts say we're now ready for swine flu.
Having had the experience of needing to be prepared for avian influenza, there's been a lot of forward planning, and hopefully if we need to activate those things, they'll come into place pretty rapidly and readily.
Australia has one of the highest stockpile ratios of antiviral drugs Tamiflu and Relenza. And although the drugs weren't specifically designed for swine flu, health experts remain confident they will be resilient. Roche Holding AG says it has 3 million packages of anti-flu treatment Tamiflu ready to deliver to any country.
Roche Laboratories has updated information on neuropsychiatric events for Tamiflu, a drug that's used to treat or prevent influenza in patients 1 year and older.
The revised labeling reminds practitioners that some patients taking Tamiflu for influenza have experienced delirium and abnormal behavior, leading to accidental injury and a small number of deaths. Rapid resolution. Similar events have also been reported with Relenza, an inhaled drug used to prevent and treat influenza, and similar labeling changes have been adopted for that drug.
The way to avoid the flu is vaccination, which in many provinces is free. Well, let's see if these recent flu shot recipients can help reveal the mystery of why Cheetos and Pop-Tarts list their ingredients while vaccines do their best not to. Are you aware of the ingredients in the vaccine?
I know there's some egg products.
I don't think they offered us a list of ingredients, though.
That, no, I don't know. This is blind faith for me. But did you know that there's mercury in that shot?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I did not, no. Are you glad that it's free?
Yes.
But you know it's not really free.
Yes.
Well, that's paying through our taxes, right? So if I sneeze right now, would you be okay with that?
No.
What if tricking your body into thinking it's already sick doesn't make you sick? What if there's not enough vaccine to go around? You should know that making your own is easier than brewing your own beer. And it could save your life. Well, the first thing you need is a live virus. Now, is there anyone here suffering from the flu? Okay. We now have our chicken embryos and our live virus. Now, from the pickled frog jar, your local school's biology class, we'll keep that virus dead like the drug companies do with formaldehyde. Now, careful, don't get any frog in the mix. That'd be gross. Now, let's add a little ether. Careful, don't fall asleep. And then we dump some detergent in there. That keeps it clean. And remember when your mother lost her mind when you played with mercury because it never leaves your body? Well, that makes it a great preservative. If you have a thermometer, well, staying healthy is a lot more important than room temperature. Now, all of this goes into the centrifuge, like this blender, and hey, 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 it's vaccine for the whole family. Well, the debate over whether vaccines usually don't work or aren't fully safe may never end, which at least explains why the contents are rarely publicized.
I'm fine. I'm just
It doesn't. Nation.